this is as close to some sort of ranked you're going to get out of quick play. So MMR wise, there is MMR, right? It's pretty well known. It's almost 100% there. So people who say it's not, keep coping. I don't know. Tell me your elo and what elo you're experiencing this at. Don't say you saw it for other streamers and that they make, oh, this streamer made somebody look silver. Da, da, da. Yeah, that's the whole point. If you're a better player and you punish somebody's mistake, they're going to look bad. That's literally how the game works. Good job. That's not what we're asking here. Anyways, sorry for the side tangent. So I thought it'd be a really good game to get into and get into a lot of specifics about my decision making, macro, the fundamentals, the things that I've taught you, and the sort of how we want to like approach each situation to really show you how to carry on Zarya, to get through the basics, and to really pump some fresh ideas into your head that you might not have been considering before. So this is going to tailor to the more experienced players, to the more basic players, right? Basics, fundamentals are always important from a hero and from a macro perspective. There's going to be a few fundamentals that are in play here, and I think are really important to keep in mind between every play. And let me start highlighting them, but the most important one out of all, and that is our best friend, space, not the owl player. Okay, space in Overwatch is a very simple concept. It's also very complicated because it flows through everything. And it's very simple because space is the territory that you can maneuver between. The enemy team can walk out their spawn, they can walk to the choke, they can walk through the choke, they can do whatever. And it's our job as a team, especially as a tank, to either create that space, right? So if we're attacking, you want to create that space. And if you're defending, you want to make sure that you hold space. And there are simple rules that go along with that. And it's a very nice thing that kind of flows through everything. In this instance, since we're the defending team, right? We're making sure that the enemy team, as soon as the game starts, is getting pressured and taking some sort of damage, some sort of resource while they're moving through. Just because you're sitting AFK here doesn't mean that there's not something you can do. That on Hanamura, for example, most people will sit on the second point. They'll sit within that massive room and they'll wait. They'll wait for the enemy. There's no rule that says you have to sit there. There's no rule telling me that I have to be here and I can't go through the choke. We know what the enemy team is going to do. Now, this depends on your elo as well. Most of you will know this term. We know about defaulting, right? Defaulting, essentially, if you don't know what it is imagine there's a learning AI that just started playing Overwatch for the first time. And you put them into the game. Where's the AI going to go? What are they going to do? Well, they're probably going to follow, if you see before the spawn doors open, there's actually like an arrow that shows go this way, right? Take this path. And the AI, not knowing anything else they're learning, they'll take that. It's the beginning. It's the beginning. This is what's most common in low elo. Oh, they don't know. They don't know where to hold. They don't know the rules of high grounds, line of sights, cover, team compositions, how to control space, what chokes are, right? It's something that comes with time. It's natural. So, however, that doesn't go away. That's actually something very punishable through a lot of elos. So, where's the enemy team most likely to go? What options do they have? Where am I going to set myself in relation to them coming? When they come around the corner, where are they going to come from? What am I going to do? You're going to start planning ahead, but the idea is that they make their way to the choke. We know they're the human effect, their behavior, what they're going to do. They're most likely going to come out this side or this side. And that means that we're going to be prepared to use now, this is where skill comes in. We're going to be prepared to use our bubbles, right? I think I would like to, it's a bit smaller. Our bubbles, our HP, our presence, right? As a resource. Because now we have to do what tank things do. Tanks create control space. Plus we need to make sure that our specific identity of getting charged is getting held in track. And that's when we get into the specifics of Zarya. So let me help you a little bit with Zarya, okay? Extruding our precedents. But actually, now thinking about it, I think it's a little bit more important to just really drill into you the rules of why we're here and what works in our favor. And what our role is and our identity as a tank, okay? Because we are a tank. We are solo tank. It's Overwatch 2. Now, we don't know what the comp is of the enemy team yet. I obviously do. There you go. But it doesn't really matter for this. I've decided to position myself with my hero around this portion of the statue, which controls a direct line of sight towards the choke, that is also very close to a corner that I can disengage around. It plays within my team's line of sights. I'll change color. It plays within my team's line of sights. It denies a hotel flank space. And it doesn't really do too much about these areas back here. But it does do something about... it does do something about these areas. So as you can see, as a Zarya player, I've decided to control the yellow zone. Why, as a Zarya player, am I taking the yellow? Well, there's a few simple reasons. Reason number one is that we're within our healer's line of sight, so the healers can see us safely, right? They can safely see us without themselves being exposed to the enemy team, which is great. So we're keeping track of the enemies while making sure that the enemies will have to move through us to get access to the backline. Sorry if this is really overwhelming and kind of hard to follow. I'm not really an illustrator, so to speak, and my it's funny because in school I used to also struggle with taking things in my mind and then making them clear to other people. So truly, this is a learning experience for myself and for others as well, right? So I do apologize. If we just pay attention to this area real quick, we're stopping the enemy from getting access to our backline. They're having to go through us as a tank where we can do damage. We have a good line of sight for our bubbles. And don't worry, I'm going to go into detail about this because this is really important. Because this leads us into our phase 1 of playing Zarya. Okay? Phase 1. What does that mean? Right? Not phase up, phase 1. Let's go back to the VOD. Phase 1 of Zarya is a really nice way to think about Zarya. Phase 1 and phase 2. In phase 1, P1, we're useless. We have 0 charge. We don't do a lot of damage. We're just like a squishy body bag because we don't really have armor. We don't have low mobility. Enemies can kind of ignore us, right? Because according to Zarya's identity, when we get charged up and then when we get snowballing and rolling, we can control the game by either getting kills, exerting pressure at the right time, farming our graph quickly, etc., etc. So it's pretty simple. Get charged, and then we can sit at a choke and stop them, and then we can fight back and we can do something. So phase 1 of Zarya is really transitioning from this useless 0 charge into this snowball, whatever, however you want to visualize it. The fun part, basically, right? And so they've given us these tools, which are our bubbles. So phase 1 is about using those bubbles correctly. I've kind of tripped over myself here, but I'll just keep going. That's why I'm positioned here. Because at this position where I'm on the map right now, we'll keep playing until the actual action happens. And don't worry, this will relate to the information that we just talked about. I know what the enemy wants to do. The Zarya is shooting from this angle. From this angle here. The Mora just showed from that side of the bus. We saw the Genji double jump here. So we can already assume a few things. The Zarya is going to come around the corner at this side. We know that the enemy team is going to move from behind that wall to here and then do whatever. Walk through, trade bubbles, whatever that is. Right? This is highly conditional on the enemy and what they have. And unfortunately, we're not going to go into the detail of matchup specifics yet. We're just going to look at how I'm playing this, what I'm thinking about, and really, truly, these are the things that I'm considering live in the moment, but I have thought about it some time, figured out the answer to, and I've sort of integrated into my arsenal of decision making. So, in phase 1, we need charge. We need the bubbles. We need line of sights. Okay, these are our best friends. These are going to give us everything. So how do we get charge? We get charge from the enemy. We have to use our bubble, absorb damage. We have to make sure that they shoot at us. How do we do all these things? Well, let me get into that a little bit more, okay? I really want to iterate how important bubbles are and how important getting charge is, because it's going to take us out of this unfun situation into a really fun one. So there's a multitude of techniques that we can use, and I'm going to teach you these, and other people are not going to know them, and this is why I love Overwatch 2, because you learn the skill, you learn these timings, you learn these things, and you get rewarded for it. So what I mean by that is specifically, let me get rid of that, is that the enemy team, as we discussed, will come through the choke. They're going to show ourselves. Our bubbles are charged by intercepting damage. And what that means is that The enemy team will have to damage our bubble. We know this. What does that really mean? Think about it for a second. It means that the things that can kill us when we don't have our bubble up are the things that are going to give us charge. Cool. Makes it a little simpler, right? I think More Orb doesn't give charge, but a right click does. So she's kind of useless, right? So if you were to sort of take the time to recognize threats. Okay, if I see a Hanzo, Storm Arrow is going to be good, but I'll also take a left click. But a Hanzo left click is only, I'm going to make up a number, I'm going to guess 21 charge, right? That's half of our bubble. I want more. So then I need to make sure that, well, maybe there's another person on my screen. So this is one target, one person, but we know that the team is going to come around here in a little bit. That's how it works. They're defaulting. We know this is how it works. So let's say even if we were to combo with a Lucio left click, okay, that's 18 charge. That's 2 people. You see 1 and 2 people, and all of a sudden that simple piece of charge becomes 39, which is almost a full bubble, and any extra damage will equal a fully successful bubble. Okay, hopefully please, this is not that complicated. I just didn't do a really good job of illustrating it. It's really, 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 really simple. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that chokes are very likely to have a group of people be there, whether it be attacking or defending. Defending, you're going to be the front line. You're going to be there. You are here right now in front of the enemy team where they're about to come through. Let me show you. Okay. So considering this example of like, you can combo this plus this, take the time to take damage. Here's a really, really important tip. Don't rush the bubble. Take your time. Be really slow in the bubble, because when a person is already holding left click, they have to first recognize, oh, he bubbled, I should stop shooting, and then they let go. So what ends up happening is if there's like shooting at you and emptying clip and you bubble around here, they have to have that moment of that reaction time, which means that we get the charge here. That's guaranteed charge pretty much, unless they're trying to bait. Whatever, keep it simple. So that's why letting yourself take some damage, you have healers next to you, you're fine. It's very rare that you get one shot. Very rare. Just trust me on this. Take damage, start looking to intercept, play it slow. You have more HP. Really try to understand threats, natural threats. And all of a sudden, it'll be very relaxing or simple or require almost no brain power when I see a certain thing come around the corner. So I want to see what I do here specifically, right? I want to see how I react. I think that, oh no. Let's see. Let me get rid of this. Let's see how I do this, okay? So we play the game out normally. We see Genji, Moira. We know where the Moira is. We know where the Genji is. We see the Zarya. We know where they are. We see the Lucio now. I don't self-bubble. Now, why do I not self-bubble here? Like, it's perfect. This is what we just talked about, right? These threats. Zarya is never going to give me charge. The Lucio is like 18, but usually he already should be spamming, and then I am there to intercept it, right? Either by, we'll get into it a little bit, but I'll talk about it now. Playing a corner, seeing the visuals, projectiles, counting the ammo, that's maybe for Junkrat or something, and then popping around the corner, using our bubble. It's already on the way, nothing he can do about it, and then come back out safely. What I do differently than usual is, by the way, I'm really feeling myself here. So I have now stepped up past this corner or away from the corner. It's like, so these are the reason corners are so crucial. We'll get into the gameplay eventually, I promise. But this is such important knowledge for you to know. It really is because it's natural cover. It's something that they cannot shoot through. They cannot shoot through that statue. They cannot shoot through the hotel. So if we play close to these corners, we can instantly disengage if things get hairy or scary, or we get one shot by something. But again, I think I'm stepping up here because in Overwatch 2, we have the 2 bubbles. So I'm feeling much more confident that I can be cheeky. And maybe it's almost manipulating the enemy into doing something. So there's 2 things. The enemy is expecting me to be back here, chilling. So if I were to walk into their line of sight while they're back here, it's kind of signaling to them like, hey, what the hell? What's he doing? Let me shoot him. Right? That's one mental aspect. And that's truly, truly something that you can think about once you learn these things. Or I'm pushing up here. So it's not a full commit, you know. If they collapse on me, I don't think I can get back with 2 bubbles in time, and it's too hairy. So I do the thing where, like, this is the safe play. Let me do the non-safe play. Almost saying like, hey, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me, shoot me. Do something about it, you know? Because I didn't see, I'm not going to get it from Moira, I'm not going to get it from Lucio, and I'm not going to get it from Zarya. So we're creating a sort of enemy necessity to react to me, to force them into wanting to give me charge. And that's what I'm doing there. So you can see, this program unfortunately doesn't have Sojourn. So let's just, you know, pretend Soldier is Sojourn, right? Mental exercise. So in this situation, when I talked about defaulting, I expect the team to be around here. I expect the team to come this way. There is a likelihood some Genjis really are fond of standing up here. Again, for a multitude of reasons, I'll just break it down. They have high ground. They're out of the line of sight of most of the threats or the enemy team, DPS, etc. So it's a nice common one. But by me walking up here and this person coming over the wall to the side, I turn my crosshair. I'll replay this. I turn my crosshair away from the enemy, which again is another natural body sort of like, it's non-verbal communication that I don't see you. So you're more likely to hit a shot or catch me off guard or do something. And so you know, honestly, in hindsight, I don't even think this is going to be a good bubble. Let's see if I get away with it, because here's Lucio. I don't think the Genji might not shoot me, right? And there's 5 threats. There's this threat, which will give me a lot of charge by him left-clicking or railgunning me, which he's not going to have. This is the 18. The Zarya is almost 0, so we can already count for like 2 threats here that potentially will not shoot me, because he's going to be wall running and busy. So that's -1 threat. We don't know the Moira. She's like already -1 threat. And then the Zarya probably won't give much, so that's -1 threat. So that's like 3 out of 5 already not shooting me. So we're going to have to really heavily rely on the enemy team sort of rewarding me for this bubble or this play. But I'm really hoping that this non-verb, like this is, like by looking at them and shooting them, it does one thing. It forces them to react. My HP didn't go down, so I don't know if they're already shooting at me. And a lot of these things are falling apart. Like this is truly something you want to achieve consistency with. So I end up getting 40 charge from the bubble being popped. Now, actually, I'm really curious to see what it is. So you can see I walk up. As soon as the enemy, bubbles, I go for a reload. At least in Overwatch 1, the Zarya bubble duration is 2 seconds, which is our reload animation. It's 2.5 here, but still, make sure to not feed the Zarya other charge, so she stays in phase 1. We are really overextended. As soon as we see them start to take space, though, I react by walking backwards. Now, this is where it would end, and I think this is the artificial buff I talked about earlier. These are good players. They know Zarya bubble lasts 2 seconds. It's second nature, and they wait for it to wear out, and then they shoot me. Okay? Now, because it's new, they're not used to it yet, at the last second, they pop my bubble, break it, and I get the full 40 charge. But this was a bad bubble. There was no threats already shooting me, apart from a Zarya, and we all know Zarya can just do 0 damage. She's not even charged herself. And we know that these weren't looking at us, and he shot us a little bit. So that'd be 1 threat looking at us. Even though we're in front of like bigger line of sight, we didn't see who else was left of it. It really wasn't that good of a bubble, but we got rewarded because of this artificial thing. Wow. It's really obvious to me, and I really hope that we'll keep going, and hopefully this will become easier and easier for you to understand what I'm trying to say with these line of sights, the threats, how we position and maneuver ourselves within those, and how we can sort of get guaranteed charge. Because truly, charge and comboing things and intercepting things is so crucial to a Zarya's success. These terms are pretty self-explanatory. But let's keep going. Okay, let's get into the meat and potatoes. I get pushed back, and I rotate back left. Now, again, this is important for a multitude of reasons. If I rotate back left, it means I can get flanked from behind. I'm still within these guys' line of sight. It means that if I were to use my self bubble in this location, I would be a Zarya completely out of position. The Lucio could come around and boop me. The Genji could come kill me. There's a lot of ways that they could get rid of me. So almost it's like you put yourself in a bad position. You get pushed back, and I rotate back left. Now, again, this is important for a multitude of reasons. If I rotate back left, it means I can get flanked from behind. I'm still within these guys' line of sight. It means that if I were to use my self bubble in this location, I would be a Zarya completely out of position. The Lucio could come around and boop me. The Genji could come kill me. There's a lot of ways that they could get rid of me. They want to do something about it. You self-bubble. Oh no, it's not a good position. And you walk back across the open space towards your side. Okay, now unfortunately we lost Metro. Our Lucio is heading over to this contested space here. There's nothing that we can do about this. There's nothing that we can do to help this Lucio. If we were to now straight up walk over here, I'm instantly dead. Okay, again, I want to reiterate. You don't see any bubbles. You have no bubbles. Zarya is very squishy. Okay, and this is not a window for us to make a play. We just got out of phase 1. We just got out of phase 1. So you'll notice my reaction to having no bubbles here is now going to be moving myself into a much more safe position, which is again towards the back of sight, towards the archway and hotel, because I want to get around a corner. Okay, and this is constant typical play. You'll see very normal, very standard, because I cannot achieve the goal that I want to achieve as a tank, which is holding space. Like, don't forget this, guys. We need to make sure we control space. If we go AFK at the back, we never look to retake it or fight it or claim it. We're not going to do well. And how do we fight it or reclaim it? Well, we do that based on the line of sights. We do that based on the high grounds. We do that based on flank routes, corners, etc. So that's why, again, space is very simple, but very complicated. All right, so don't forget about space. We have given up a lot of space here to use our self bubbles like that. And it's kind of a handshake, though. This is Zarya. Zarya is this handshake. This like, I'll give you something. In return for you giving me charge, getting me out of phase 1, I'll give you something. But hey, it's good, guys. It's good. We now have charge. So no longer will our bubbles have to be something that tries to get us charged up so that we can play the game. This is phase 2. This is the playmaking. This is now, please, I see a lot of low elo Zaryas do this. They still play like it's phase 1. They still just use their bubble and cooldown. Oh, the enemy team's in front of me. Hey, look, there's a bunch of people here. Let me just self-bubble and then just walk back. But that's so bad considering the context of you're giving up space. Every single time you do this phase 1 bubble, you're kind of like either using it to take, like this person is currently, but I promise you he's going to back away. Unless he feels like he's in the driver's seat and that we're not going to push back into him, right? Again, this is a sort of a read on the situation. And it's really important to learn that. We'll get into that kind of stuff. The more we do these photo reviews, the more we go over this stuff. But my bubble's coming off cooldown soon. So actually, if I think I have a bubble advantage, I can push back into him once I get my ammo back and he has no bubble and we can help our team. So I'm curious what I'm going to do, because now we can actually start playmaking. Really, truly, we can start playmaking. Let's have a look. Let's see what I do. Okay. So, I can already see something awful going on here, right? Remember when Scorer went to help Metro and overextended into their territory? And we couldn't do anything about it? Which, again, we made the fine play. It looks like he's about to die, and it looks like we're about to have our bubble up. Now, there's two things here. Especially in Overwatch 2. If I were to use my friendly bubble and trying to save him and he still dies, I have no more plays to make. I'll be 100 charge, but it means nothing because I'll have to, this is really important, bubble him while backing away to safety. Okay? You'll notice, if we replay this real quick, I'm going to reiterate this. This is such a crucial thing. I start here. I back away to safety after I use a bubble. I use a bubble again because the enemy team is playing in a way where they're taking space correctly. Like they're just playing correctly. I have to respect that. I back away again. Okay? And assuming that my team was playing in a correct way, which wasn't maybe running into like their line of sights, we can almost split the map just like that real quick. And you can see like Lucio crosses into that territory. I'll go over this one more time. Why line of sights are bad. The enemy team has this space. These are direct line of sights that they have into that territory. There's no way that we as a tank without shield can throw ourselves in front of this because we have no mobility and make it back because we're low HP and because we get surrounded. Okay? So, because of that decision, and this is not a flame, by the way. This is the facts. I'm going over what is happening in this channel, on this photo review, in this whatever. Just relax, sit back, right? We're really trying to get that information across. So it's important to show other people's mistakes and how to react to them, and to clarify why within the context of these things. And really, we're at a dilemma now. Do we use our self bubble? Because if we do, sorry, our friendly bubble to save him, because if we do and he still dies, guess what? Go back. Then again, we have to go back. Especially now, because of a very simple thing and another basic... Right? Okay, I'll just end it there for now. Specifically in this situation. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that no matter what I do, right, there's one guaranteed option here, and that is this guy is dead. So the safe bet would be, okay, I have to concede space. We lost our soldier, we're -1, which you can see very clearly here and here. This guy's about to die, we're -2. Maybe I could go back, save my bubbles, and then wait for the team and then go in again. Not really, right? Once you've been in these situations enough times, you can start to like really not have to think about it too much. I think that in a situation, I'm gonna have to, no matter what, I'm gonna have to go back. My bubble actually won't even be up before he's there. So what I would do in this situation, by the way, is I would try to bubble him and then maybe body block or something, but I'm pretty sure he's just gonna die. So get ready to back away. That was the original point. Oh my god, he lives. Cool. Maybe I should have. I don't think I should have pre-watched because everything I said was good information, and I ended up self-bubbling. So let's see why. Okay. This does matter, specifically in how we played it. So we did self-bubble ourselves to hold space and pressure at the same time while protecting him. Okay, and that was actually a good response to the situation. If he had died out here, it would have been useless. But because he made it to this corner, and because we know how line of sights work, we use, because we're exerting pressure as well in this phase, right? To fight back, they're trying to take space and exert pressure. We're down people. I need to make sure we exert pressure to make up for this in some sort of degree while doing it safely. Because he lives, then we're not going to go back. Because what I ended up doing, is I ended up self-bubbling, which is going to be really big, walking into where he's going to go, which is this corner, and then protecting him. They cannot shoot past my bubble. I get charge. Plus, at the same time, even better, I get to keep exerting my pressure. I got to 100 charge, and look. With good tracking, I get a trade kill on it. So we actually turned that situation incredibly optimally. I mean, great. Cool. I'm going to say how it is. I think actually the way that was played was really, really well played. Because not only did we manage to protect him, by self-bubbling, it means that we can keep exerting the pressure onto the Genji while trading spots, because this is how line of sights work, right? The enemy team is going to be able to shoot like so, but if you go around the corner, it instantly breaks it like this. Instantly. So, by self-bubbling and creating this big block, we not only get charged to put this guy into kill window, because he's in our range, we move up to that corner safely, protect our Lucio, and get away with it. Now, this is really crucial because remember how we lost our soldier? Well, now they're down Genji, so it's a 4v4. So now, we've actually managed to turn this dire situation into a really good one. Sick. That's I mean, great. I want you guys to do this. You know what I mean? Like, this is great. This is what I want everyone to be able to do. So, scorer ends up dying. Now, because it's Overwatch 2, it's now what, a 3v4. That's pretty doable. That's pretty, you can deal with that, but it depends on the enemy team composition. Now let's consider who's alive in this situation. We can know one thing for sure. He meleeed him. So in my mind, without having to see it, let's just go to mind's view. We used our bubble, got the trade pick, and everything I said earlier still applies. We have to now give up the space and move back. It still applies. I'm not going to go over it again because we don't have our bubbles. And we know that since the scorer was in this territory, the Lucio, that means that the Moira was here with the melee, which means I know where the Moira is. I know where the Zarya is. I don't remember keeping track of the Lucio. That's something you do in game more easily. And we know whatever, right? Maybe we don't know where this person is. But it's fine. So we're going to go back, stabilize, because our bubbles are cooldown. In this situation, our soldier died earlier, so he'll be coming back first, which means if we give it the ticks, we just give it. We say, hey, you can have 1 or 2. We know that our person will be back around the same time as theirs, maybe before theirs. I think this was before the soldier nerf, if I remember correctly. So he'd be pretty fucking speedy. Now, that would be in an ideal situation. Truly, you just give up. You give up the point a little bit, wait for people to regroup, and good. Ta-da, you did it. However, Kenzo popped off. He got their Moria. Now this is super important. As you instantly see their Moria, and we can see this, we know that the Sojourn is here. Moria is their main healer. Main healers are what do they do? What all this? Hey, this is your time to shine, commenters that say, oh my god, the supports are great, which they are. My supports are absolutely insane, but they're also insane because they enable Zarya by what? Healing. I get to tank through things. I get to pop off because of a healer up my ass. Otherwise, I'm weak. But the enemy Zarya. So we know about my experience. Well, the enemy Zarya just lost hers. She just lost her ability. We're still charged. Our bubble's coming up in maybe 5-6 seconds. We have our Ana. That means that I can now walk up into this Zarya because I'm going to have more effective HP. I'm going to have more effective threat and pressure, which means I can turn the tide of something. I can now choose to leave this safe corner, the safe natural cover, and come back into pressure and push my advantage. Also, this is kind of that ebb and flow, right? We're starting to regain space. As soon as I get that opportunity to take space, I haven't been tracking this necessarily, but we'd assume that the Zarya, I'd have to watch it fully through. We assume we have a bubble advantage or be equal in bubble, but we can burn through those because we have more healing. So we'll take the trade, we'll take the blow, we'll regain territory, and this is where the true advantage comes in. Now, however, I decided to prioritize some squishier because they're easier to kill. Ooh, I think I might actually die here. We'll see. No, my healer barely keeps me alive. This is crazy. Like, okay, let's have a look at my HP. And this, for those of you that don't realize how squishy Zarya is, like, this is what I'm talking about. Okay? Against good players. 200 HP. This is while disengaging. This is when Kenzo gets the turn. 100 HP. I actually made a mistake here. If we look at my movement specifically, I'll replay this. Just watch my movement. I'm going to end up doing this shape. So this is the archway, right? End up going like this, which is hugging the wall, which is going to give me the best line of sight because it forces the enemy team to come around the corner to see me. And it means that the people that are here, right? Let's say this is their line of sight, this whole area, right? If I were to be here, they'd have to come across to see this. But if I were to go around this corner here, they can't see me anymore, and they can't see me anymore. And that's why it's important that the mistake I'm about to do is I go from here to here. Because I'm moving away from this super safe spot that would have excluded me from this line of sight and this line of sight. And I almost died for it. I almost got punished. And I think that's a mistake watching this back, but let's go into it anyway. The correct play might have been coming back here and waiting for my bubble to come back up. But we killed their Moria. I trust in my supports. Let's go. I want to get a kill maybe. And I think I end up... Here's what's important, by the way. I made a mistake. I do a little dancing side to side while exerting pressure on the thing that can kill me, on one of the things that can kill me, which then forces them to back away. So this might be a small nod, but let's say you're in the situation and you've studied this and you know this, and you're like, oh no, I just put myself in a losing situation. You might not take the time to shoot the squishy target that you can threaten a kill. Maybe if you shoot the Zarya there, that Sojourn doesn't disengage. Therefore, you will die because you won't kill the Zarya in time. So the target priority there was on a squishy that was easy to kill, just like the Genji, because I wanted to turn because their Moria died. And I prioritized the Sojourn because we don't really know the Zarya's bubble timing perfectly. It might come up, giving her a swing. Therefore, right, this was still a mistake to swing out and go so early without waiting for my bubbles or getting full HP. But we made the best of a situation and we turned it into a positive. And yes, because of our great healer, we stay alive. So now I remember, this is the archway, okay? I want to keep this visualization up here. This is the archway. Now, you'll notice that I see, maybe we'll go back into this. I see that my Ana is under pressure. She's back here. I'm here still. Let's say I'm in the open. And their Lucio, he's a good Lucio player, by the way. You'll notice good Lucio players, Reddit Lucios are very aggressive. you know, they can threaten to kill your Ana alone already, has managed to come past me during that time of anguish. Maybe he went up here, maybe he just wall wrote, who knows. And Zarya sees that as well. He kind of went back, I kind of went back. I turn around, oh, my Ana is going to die. Now let's talk a little bit about my Ana's positioning. Ana is sitting in the open. Where is she? She is in direct line of sight of the dangers. If Sojourn was here, she might have got beamed down, etc. But we know Sojourn's going back with no healers now, by the way. Because no Moira. And the Lucio's back here, so she's not going to get healed. So she's a non-factor for now, luckily. And this is why that pick from Kenzo was so massive to dictate the whole pace of the situation and how we reacted to that. And so, in my mind, when I turn around here and I see the Ana in that situation, oh, it's bad. What can I do about it, though? Nothing. What I can do, nothing with HP, such as body blocking, and nothing with bubbles, because I don't have those, or shield, right? But what I can do is use my hero's identity and tool, which is doing damage. Just big dick damage, okay? To protect her almost. And I think a lot of people mess this up. That yes, this is another form of peeling, right? So let's just go into this real quick. Right. So with damage to Lucio, Kenzo helps finish us off. I actually make a misplay here. The Ana corrects. Okay, so Lucio gets bubbled, which means Zarya doesn't have her bubble anymore. We have our bubble. We're going to be matching bubbles at this point. I already know that without watching it back. The Ana corrects her mistake by running back into the correct line of sight and position, which is going to be around this corner. It's exact same as us. These rules are the same. Line of sights will always be for every role. Corrects the mistake, which means that she's crossing this Zarya's line of sight here. And the Lucio failed his Reddit. I immediately pop the bubble by exerting pressure. Kenzo helps me finish off the target. I get myself bubble, and I move in front of the Ana, or try to move in front of the Ana, to block the Zarya's line of sight. Same as the Lucio thing earlier, which means that with no Lucio and nothing else, she's stuck now in this open space with no corner to back around. No bubble because she just used it. So she's screwed. So then now I'm in the driver's seat. She's guaranteed dead almost, right? And then we can go back and find Sojourn. Because remember, we didn't kill the Sojourn. Where is he? And then what you've just done is you've used chokes, space. You made up for teammates' weaknesses. You made up for teammates' positives. You've exerted pressure at the right targets. You got lucky with certain things. You've really started to blend together. You've done mental maps or tracking the enemy, right? Where they might be positioned, keeping track of the kill feed with information, allowing these things to bleed into your decision making. On top of that, by the way, just before we say, God, I wish with the power editing. Before my Ana was out here and here, you'll notice that if I replay this, look at my positioning again. I instantly move around the corner. Look at my position. Okay, for those of you who can't see that, I'm going to replay that again. But let's say I turn around. Okay, and I'm here, and I see the Lucio. Let's say I stood still to shoot the Lucio, which I do. I'm not around the corner yet. If I stand and stay here, right, I'm basically around the corner. But I move a little bit to the right to move out of the, instead of staying here, just to move out the line of sight so that I'm not going to be pressured randomly by RNG, whatever. Let's say the Sojourn decides to come back and I'm still standing there. I'm not going to know that. So I move out the way, get a very tight angle to do the damage. And remember, he doesn't have his bubble and Kenzo's popping off. Let's say Kenzo, in hypothetical, doesn't click his head right here. We're 345, Ana behind us, and there's a DPS, so we guaranteed win this, right? We can all see that. We guaranteed win that. Which, Emirate Sojourn running away because she's low. Boom. So, good job to Kenzo. Failed. Enemy team doing some banter. Now, it's really important here. Again, this is another skill that I want people to know about or think about. They might not. It's something that you see and you might not think about. I did mention it earlier that it was important to then after the fight, after you've won, to go clean up the Sojourn, to go clean up the target. There's a threat. There's something behind you. So that when everything resets after a fight, when we go back to our space, right? After we reset, we want to go back to our space. We want to go back to chill here. We don't want to have a Sojourn behind us because, oh, we don't have mobility. We can't deal with that threat. So this is something that we need to get rid of now so that, again, we can reset it and just only worry about the things in front of us. If you start autopiloting and defaulting and you forget about that and your team forgets about that, and this is something you can control in low elo, right? In lower elos, people are more likely to forget. But if you're not, well, then you have that time before the enemy's regrouped and respawning to go clear the threat. In this situation, good job to Metro. He comes out here, helps deal with the Sojourn, right? But this is something that you in lower elo can stop and prevent and genuinely win a fight already without it even happening, right? That small decision to remember the Sojourn, well, we saw her, but it's still, okay, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. If you know where they are, keeping track of how many have died, right? 5 people now. Massive, massive, massive. So we've got a decent amount of charge. I'm going to rotate top left here. This is a very aggressive position. Why is this an aggressive position? Well, we see the Mora. And I think I remember making a mistake here. So the reason this is, let me just clear this. Okay, we're still in phase 2. Oh, I'm just going to write this here. We're still in phase 2. We have charge. We can use our bubbles. We have 2 of them now to make plays. I think we see the Mora beam here. We're rotating from the high ground anyway, around the statue. And you can see this is a line of sight. That is their spawn. That is the bus. That is where they'll be walking up and down. They can see me all the way. So why is this important? A, we're going to be flanking around the Mora, get behind her. B, we have 2 bubbles. So we're in their line of sight, which means that they're going to want to shoot us. And we're going to take damage. We can get the cycling, get more charge, maintain the snowball. It's a win-win. Simple. And by the way, as I am jumping in the situation chat, I said chat, Jesus. As I'm jumping, I see the Lucio, right? I see a threat. I can now know a little bit more carefully where somebody might be or where somebody is. Again, we know where it is. Now because I knew the Lucio was in this area and respawned, that right there updated it for me. So now when I turn around, I don't need to process this. I'm not like, oh, wait, how many are they? Are they 1, 2, 3? Are they blah, blah, blah? I believe I make a mistake here. And this is why you get punished for it. But I get cocky. Cooldowns. Enemy cooldowns. This is crucial for your success as a Zarya. I'm going to show you a failure. But if you're in lower elos, you can maybe get away with this stuff, okay? Mora, no fade. Right? The fade is a massive ability for that hero. Equals probably kill. Very free kill. It's like if you see that in mid-fight and you can position and maneuver to it safely away from your corner, your position, whatever. Maybe by using natural cover, rotating from one spot to another, right? You're starting to see how this works now. Then go for it, get a kill, carry. Zarya is really this like, so here's the mistake. Here's the big mistake. I already saw it watching it back. If I had known that fade equals kill and I had done that here, okay? If I had made that decision to now go kill her, and go around the corner and beam her, be here, then self-bubble myself. The enemy team would be behind me, shooting my bubble, pumping me through with damage. I'd be killing her, making her low HP. The bubble gets popped. I use my second bubble, and I start disengaging because by that time, she's dead. But then I also have that bubble to bring me at the very least back around the corner, out of their line of sight. And then I could be in a very bad situation, perhaps, if I don't get the kill. You know, if I don't kill the Mora, it's a bad situation. If I do kill the Mora, well, good luck. You guys can come around this line of sight and get me, but my team's going to be completely not pressured and they can heal me because they'll be back here. Let me show you visually because in my mind I can track this, but okay. Sometimes, okay. Boom, Mora here, Lucio here. We don't know where DPS are. We do know that one is in spawn. I don't know where one is. My healers will be here chilling. Right, Metro will be up here somewhere, up here, whatever. So, if they were to, I killed a Mora. Remember what I said earlier about main heals being dead? Well, yeah, you can push out into me, but it'll be risky for you. And my healers are now not pressured or threatened by the tanks, so they can spend their time healing me and pop off being good healers. Right, a lot of you as a tank plays into the space control, into what they can do for free. into timing, into decision making, into what's so important. But the mistake that I make is I don't put myself in that situation, in that positive situation, and I play badly and I get punished for it. Let's go ahead and see. You know, I shoot the Zarya in her bubble. Why? Why did I do that? Well, maybe because I wasn't planning to kill her. Who knows? But then you can see, watch. I'm like, oh yeah, Moira no fade. Maybe I can just beam her with my 100 charge, self bubble, and get out. Boom. Couldn't. If I had 2 bubbles, absolutely could have. I would have been in that corner. Zarya would never have come. She's even anti, and I would have had another bubble coming up. And I would have dominated and kept on snowballing, and this would be a different VOD, and it would have been disgusting. But because of my error and breaking those rules, and okay, that's a joke. It was a dumb death, right? It was a dumb death. It was just go crazy. But this is what I love. There's so many things to optimize, and we would have been dominating, and we've been snowballing the game, and we would have been hard carrying. It's decision making. These things are in our hands. These things are in our control, right? You notice that we've not really taken high ground. We're just playing around natural cover, our abilities, the enemy cooldowns. We're playing tank. We're getting supported from people. We're keeping track of our hero, which is like this phase 1 and phase 2, and respecting the enemy Zarya's cooldowns and how we go in. So we're in phase 1. Okay, let's forget about killing. Let's forget about whatever. We're going to be playing around natural cover. Where is the enemy team going to come from if they default or whatever? You know, sometimes teams will be behind us. Sometimes teams will be over here or top right or whatever. But I promise you, most of the time, they will be through this archway, 5 points, maybe the window. And where do all of those things look? This corner. You. That line of sight is you. That enemy, we want the most amount of people shooting at us, dealing damage to us, so that we can get out of phase 1. Okay? So I'm going to play the corner. I'm going to self bubble midst Lucio. So this is our specific into Lucio matchup. The Lucio is like the Bupas. So really keep in mind, again, watch this. Please. Notice how when I'm bubbling and tooling him, I'm walking into the line of sight of the arch. Simple. And look, I'm playing away from the corner. I now playing in another safe corner. And actually, because I got charged, I'm like, you know, I'm going to try and track you and kill you. What's the worst that's going to happen? I have a second self bubble. Let's go, Overwatch 2. 2 self bubbles. Let's go. We can do this. We can play the game. We're no longer limited to, like, Overwatch 1, you sit here AFK because there's an echo there that one-shots you, or you get pooled or whatever. Like, oh my god. Overwatch 2 is so good beyond belief because of shit like this. Okay? This shit like this. This is what I think people don't realize and don't appreciate. I just got to play aggressive. I just got to make a play. I got to do something. And guess what? Because I got to punish somebody, I'm now also in phase 2 with no bubbles, but a bubble coming up. And I created an advantage, which means that now I'm feeling more confident to push up and fight back. Because I have Lucio speed boost. I think my team's here. I'm cocky. Because there's this archway here. Guess what? If I go after this Genji and I don't have my self bubble, the way I respond to that is by moving out of that line of sight towards the Genji, which then makes the enemy have to turn towards me and not look at my backline and Ana and my team. Or look at my backline and Ana and my team and not me. And you just create these situations where you have this natural advantage and he's going to shit himself because you're running at him confidently and you can threaten him and you're going to take back space and you've created this inherent advantage. So go. Right? As I said, I walk left out of their line of sight because I don't have self bubbles. They start to disengage. I look for a kick, for a pick or a play. Moira used fade. Now what does that mean? Good for us. It means that we can kill her if we push after her. This is when you make the decision. Right here. I promise you. I remember this. I have my bubble coming up. They're going around this corner. When you grab boys and girls, we do not want to run around this corner by ourselves and then grab over here on the cart or something. Because what's going to happen is we'll be out of our Ana's line of sight. She can't heal us. So there'll be no line of sight. There'll be no line of sight for our healers. And our DPS on our grab, which means that if we were to grab here, and I promise you this is something you'll learn yourselves through trial and error, make the mistake. Make the mistake of shooting around the corner and then go, oh, yeah, I should have done that more quickly. I should have changed that. Which means with my prior knowledge, I can read this, kind of read the room. They don't have beat for it either. Okay, no fade. Where are they going to be, guys? They're going to be around this corner. What happens when I grab this corner? Well, it is within Oh, it's such a messy screen. But it's still in the line of sight of my team. I get nanoed and saved. I'm playing really aggro cocky. I don't even know where my DPS are. TBH, but who cares, right? You know, I think I actually, I actually made a mistake here as well. But I love this because we talk about it. We had the opportunity here to do a massive play, big play, and spawn camp. Now, what did I say, right? What did I say? Moreno fade equals kill, right? The issue is killing Zarya's is so incredible because you sending them back to phase 1 while being in phase 2 means that, phase 1 versus phase 2 is that you would have more ult damage threat because you can use your bubbles, right, for these things. Whereas this guy needs to use his bubbles to get into phase 2, then sit AFK and use his bubbles to play phase 2. You skip this whole thing. So in this situation, I should have ran down the Zarya because I saw the Moira fade away, so he gets no healing. I kill him. Moira's going to be stuck back somewhere, and we can start spawn camping. And the reason I would spawn camp in this situation, everyone, is because do it, try it. It's like this sort of, the only thing stopping ourselves is ourselves and a fear that our team won't help us. But if you enough times, especially with the friends that you play with, just fool Chad, sit on this high ground here, tell them come. If they don't, no, screw them. Sit on this high ground. It's so good because Zarya, in holding space or taking space, there's a few things she might be weak or strong at, but there's one thing she's good at, guys, and that is being an anchor. Okay? When we get charge, when we get into phase 2, when we get these advantages, we can start to anchor. We lob right clicks into the enemy spawn. We get our ult fast. We kill them as they walk out because they're trying to get out of space. They might make a mistake, die to our low time to kill. We control both exits right here. It's brutal. I do it a lot. You can find this on my stream, on my YouTube, on whatever. Yeah, I can even pull up a video of me doing this against LA Glad's contenders teams, right? Like in contenders. This was very common during GOATs, very common. So maybe that mentality of experience in other metas lets me understand my character and what the rules of the games can do. Okay? Who knows? But I want you guys to know that there is no rule telling you have to play back here, right? The map, as soon as the game starts, all of this space and territory is yours. Remember that line I drew earlier that split off the map because we had to give them space? Well, guess what? I just set the lines here now. I literally said it. The line is you as a tank player, and hopefully your team comes help you, have now dictated that this is the line. They have to find a way out. It's your move and it's their chance to respond. And if they mess it up, which they most likely will definitely do in low elos, like sending someone out alone, clueless. Oh no, the whole team's here. I'll die. And then you start to create the snowball effect. It's beautiful. This is Overwatch, okay? But we didn't get to do that because I decided not to kill the Zarya because I had in my brain from earlier, Moreno fade equals kill, and I messed it up. Maybe who knows what, right? But you can see here, I'm like, I'll go for the Moira because I thought she was closer to me after the fade than she was. So that was a lack in my game knowledge plus mistake. I thought she would be around statue and then I get a guaranteed kill on her. Uh-oh, I messed up. Shit. Okay, so now because I decided to take that detour, that Zarya is in this hallway. She had the Lucio up there. There's no way for me to run after her. Because by the time I do that, she's going to have her bubble. She's going to be really hard to kill. I missed my window. I messed up.
My bad.
That's why I say my bad. Because it was my bad. I should have killed the Zarya. I would have... But I do it anyway. Okay. Fine. Let's see how this goes. I do it anyway. But imagine the Zarya is dead now. This would be a lot easier. I do have walls, I guess. So that lets me see, they're looking over here. The bar is over here. The Lucio's up there somewhere. I know where all of them are. Hello. Now, unfortunately, I make another mistake. Bad aim. Should have right-clicked once, taken the time to adjust, made the adjustment faster. He would have died. He would have died. We would have advantage. And here's the important thing. You can see how far back they're playing. Okay? Well, it's fine. It's completely fine. Because this is what you need to do as a tank. You need to understand your limits and what they're doing. Let's say, this is really hypothetical. Let's say I moved up through their space without my line of sight of my supports, got the surprise kill. This guy now comes out and pushes me. But let's say he's dead. We would have had +2 the kill feed would have shown, hey, Zarya just got a kill. What is she doing? They would have moved up and come and helped me. Like, I've been through this enough times. I've done this with enough elos, enough random supports. I also hit the I need healing key because this is super important. Even if you're saying in voice chat, I need healing, whatever, always press the button. I just press the button. It gives a notifier, gives an indication. It's good. We have both of our bubbles coming up because we didn't use it in that alteration. So we're pretty safe, actually. We move towards our Lucio. While disengaging consistently, our Lucio dies. I still have a second bubble. I'm running, breaking the... just real quick. This is funny because it's just... Once you learn these rules, guys, okay? Look at this. This line here and this line here. What does that remind you of? This line here and this line here? For me, it does. So... enemy team comes up here. They try to see me or attack me. I break their line of sight. I do cross. Now, this is interesting. I don't know why I cross into their line of sight. I think because I saw my Ana earlier through the walls and I know she's here, that if I were to go, let's say, down here, because I have Lucio, I get chased down. So I go to the quickest route to my Ana and back to my team. Now, the funny happens here because I'm on the flank. You can see the Genji was a little clueless. Doesn't know that I'm here. I'm 100 charge, baby. Left click, right click. Oh, just kind of low HP. What did I do again? Broke line of sight. I need healing. Please help me. I beg. Okay, so unfortunately in this situation... I mean, come on. No way, that orb. That orb killed me, but Ana was there to heal me. We would have lived. The game would have been different. Wait a second. Nah. I think okay, Step says he went to heal me. Metro jumped across, taking my healing shot as we collide. The orb comes back and bounces into me and kills me. There's no way, right? There's no way. That looks like it. I actually think it did. That. No way. Maybe not. Maybe not. That just happened. Anyway, the orb was kind of crazy, right? So holy shit! How long is this, by the way? 1 hour. Listen, I think it's good information. I really do. I actually really do like this. It's quite fun. It's quite fun. So, as I said, I've already told you all these things. I've told you all these things that are going through my head and these concepts that we need to keep in mind. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? We'll keep breaking it down. So we're gonna regroup with our team. Our team is alone, no tank. The worst situation possible. I hate being last as tank. I want to be there first. 2 reasons. Why do we want to be there first? So our team doesn't die, and so we can absorb and get ourselves into phase 2 as soon as possible. Phase 1 is bad. It's a no-no. You're depressed. You're sad. You're useless. We play like a Chad. We lost our Ana. I want to go to the ledge here because I have this corner to play around. I want to look into the enemy team, get a bubble off. But Metro is doing exactly what I want to do anyway, and they're more likely to shoot at Metro because they don't expect a bubble. So, because of my game plan and my game knowledge, I bubble the teammate in hopes to achieve the same thing. Right? That's great. That's just lucky that he goes over there. We don't get anything out of it. The Genji Blades. My team does Pog. You know, well, Kenzo pops the head of the Lucio. We outplay the Blade. End up getting a lot of charge. I'm in a losing situation and a losing fight. I think I end up dying here, but again, this is super important. As Zarya as well, because we want to stay in phase 2 as long as possible. Please, please, for the love of God, just keep your charge. We're here to die a little bit. We don't want to die. Okay, we don't want to die. I've said it a million times. Please stay out of phase 1. Know when a fight is lost. You see how the Warriors go defensive one around the corner? I have to go around the corner. I'm disengaging. I did not stand there for 1 second. I kept moving. Actually, I think I did stand there for a second. If I kept moving and moving and moving, I might have made it around the corner, knowing I'm dead. The more it tagged me, so my regen isn't happening. I go for a last-ditch effort trade. If I had maybe made this decision like 1 second earlier, left click, right click, and then left click, no, I don't think it would have mattered. Like another right click would have hit, is what it is. All right, back to phase 1. So now they've kind of snowballed us. It's kind of awkward. It's kind of messy. You really want to like get charge into get your bubbles and then play. Because we need to play around these cooldowns. It's going to keep us alive. It's going to allow us to soak a Lucio Boop to maintain our aim and position, to outplay and can't believe I'm talking about this for the first time now, but like bubbles are so important for our decision making and our play. So we're in a pretty bad situation. I'm pretty sure this might have been wrong, but I'm like, taxi, taxi. You know, I'm like, come get me, come get me. And the cart's so close. So knowing this, I need to make like a good play. We know where both supports are. Real quick, this is important. Supports are here. Genji's here. That's 3 out of 5 people. 2 cart. Cool. I know where literally everybody is though. Instantly. Before the fight even happens, there's no surprise, no processing of information. I get my Lucio to go in. I don't want him to get pooped or countered by anything. He gets charged. Kenzo, holy, pops off. He gets the people. I get nanoed as I have to go towards point. We have to stop point. We're the tank, so let's go towards point. Let's control that space, that territory. We hit a grab onto a bunch of people. We predict the Sojourn going to jump. Kenzo popped off. We hit the wall, not the Sojourn. Imagine though. You know, are you imagining? Are you guys imagining if we hit that? I'm imagining that. So good job. We turned it around for our team. Nice, or would it have been better if I? Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to farm clips for YouTube here, so you know, I didn't know if that's YouTube worthy or not. It's nice, but if it's a direct, you know, I'm trying to learn what people like or don't like. Anyway, what am I doing, guys? What doing? Charge. It's shitting itself. It's going down. It stonks. Okay. Holy shit. We need to do something about this. Interesting. There just so happens to be a high chance that the enemy team. I'll show you. There just happens to be a really high chance that the enemy team will be walking out of their spawn through this area. And what is in that area, guys? Oh, a line of sight. Ooh, there's a window up here on the high ground. Very safe. That has a line of sight into this line of sight. And so if we're assuming that by this time the team's already started to walk out, they're out in this area, they're probably going to shoot at Metro and stop Metro. So, well, yeah, this is maybe just understanding line of sights again and what areas are threats or not. And, right, we need to make sure our charge stays up, stays high. We do this during a time where there's not going to be a fight. There's not going to be a battle. It's very safe. I can use both my bubbles and then run back and get back in position, get back into the spot that's going to be most advantageous, and I keep playing the game. You can see I peek, I see Genji, I see something else, I sell bubble, I get the Genji. Luckily, Metro shoots the deflect. Here comes the Lucio 18 charge. Genji's there as well. I leave because they're not going to keep shooting a Zarya. Hopefully, Metro re-peeks this. Then I can bubble Metro because they're more likely going to shoot him than me. He doesn't. So I peek. I see Shuriken. I wait. I take the 2 Zarya right clicks. Get up charge. Wasn't perfect. Far from it, actually. Again, I have a bubble. Window. I see Lucio. Well, guess what? I want to kill. I want to carry. Get kills equals carry. Get kills equals carry, right? He's right in front of me. Oh no, can't get him. It's really risky. If I stay on the ledge, he's going to come boot me, which is awful for us. So we don't want to do that. Enemy team tries to push us out and push out our space. So our team reacts accordingly. So if I would just take a look on the map, this is the corridor that is being fought around. We're very safe. They have no line of sight of us. The only way they get line of sight is by walking into us, where our team is then there to counter their pressure. We are chilling, guys. We are chilling. Here's what it is. We're in a good spot. We got high charge. There. Oh, okay. This is true. Well, I say it's true, right? This is part of it. This entire time, I know, just as we knew before we got to this corner, they're coming out of spawn and they'll be in this area. We know the enemy team is walking here, here, here. And they're probably going to be around here. And after my little debate, my little fight, and the Mora dying, in my head, I'm immediately like, oh, okay, as a tank player, I have been out of this fight for a hot minute. In that time, what could have happened? Oh, the enemy team probably made a move here. Therefore, if my Ana, I need to get water. My Ana's chilling back here. That's signaling in my brain, scary, scary, scary. And you can see this because even after I pass the Ana, I'm looking for her to bubble her. I think I still hit the bubble, which was probably incorrect. But because I was so sort of tunnel visioned in my play and my worry and my concern that I really needed her to live, because her living equals me living. So we prioritize Diana, even if it's our last bubble, and we see she's low HP. Like there's no I don't want her to die. I don't want her to die. Unfortunately, Metro jumps down. Wait, did he jump down or get booped? Wait, there's... Okay, so unfortunately Metro jumps down there. I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah, we probably should have bubbled Metro then, but I mean, like, if he doesn't jump down there, the bubble's fine. We keep the Ana alive. We're chilling. However, this is how insane our supports are. These are good players. Charge Zarya, good Genji, and a Lucio. Metro is not even full HP. Goes around the corner, gets dashed on. Score is peeling. The Ana comes back around. He somehow forced the Genji out. Metro's still not dead. And we got to trade onto the Genji. Because the Genji went in, failed, tried to get out, and then he ran right into us. I'm relaxed. I know they're trying to kill Metro, not me. So I stay on the top of the staircase, chilling. Oh, there's a Lucio wall running. Track. Oh, there's a Zarya in front of me. And Metro finally dies. We can use our bubbles however we want to trade to win the duel. Honestly, in this situation, if it was more optimal, I would have let him live, self-bubbled later to absorb a right click. Because he probably fight to the death, right? Let me pause real quick. I really need some water. Okay, great. Feeling a little better. So I want to be very clear on something that I'm playing very... Even within playing this cocky and this aggressive throughout this game, and I'm feeling myself. It's good. It's a good feeling to feel yourself. That I still follow the basic fundamentals, right? Yeah, I still follow these fundamentals and I play around the rules. And by playing around the corners, it's kind of, you think about it, it's like the opposite of like cocky or da-da-da-da. But by playing around the corners and dominating the game, by playing correctly and making good decisions, that is feeling yourself. It's not giving up the fundamentals. It's actually executing them even better because the enemy team can't do anything about it. You're playing so good, the enemy team cannot do anything about it. Obviously, I'm not playing so good. I'm still making a ton of mistakes. They end up swapping from the Zarya to Winston. Very big counter to Zarya. Because of the bubble, can't do much about it. Can't really kill the Winston too often. The bubble, like, so oppressive. Finally, the bubble's gone. We're having bubbles. It's chaotic. We lost our Widow, but they lost their Moira, so it's Giga worth. What happened earlier when we killed our Lucio here, right? They're down in resources and sustain, and so I'm here to like kill, punish. More, you know, those that might have been watching might have seen that. So we forgot about the Lucio. I forgot about the Lucio, right? I didn't keep track of him. I didn't keep a mental map of him. That's a basic / a fundamental that if I was really on fire and really in the zone, I would have. There's no excuse. You know what I'm saying? So in this situation, you can see how aggro I'm playing. Actually, I am. I know what's about to happen, but I am keeping track of the graph. Because there's less CC in the game nowadays, you need to really think about, is it worth it to grab without the Genji blading? And the answer can be, I don't know. Could be yes, could be no. In this situation, absolutely not. But only because the enemy team played into my hand. They used beat and the blade. And get this, not only that, right? Not only that, they also engaged. So they used all of their resources. Oh, my handwriting's so beautiful. Jesus Christ. It's... God damn. My apologies. It says engaged, right? This means that my grab that's about to happen literally just captures all of this. I mean, that is absolutely powerful. The only way you get a situation like that is when the enemy team gives you a situation like that. So I'm holding it. I see the beat. I look at the Genji, which is... It really is nonverbal communication, isn't it? It's really funny to see thinking back. I'm thinking about the blade. You could start to see me shoot the Genji. Cool, that's funny. There we get the fat grab. We get nanoed before Step Stacy dies. I actually think that we lose this. We know Ana, no win, right? Genji gets away in 1 HP. That means that that window of opportunity is now gone. He gets killed by Visor. I'm looking for value in some sort of way, and this is really a hectic situation. Look at the quality dropping. But like the grab did a lot because we lost Ana. This is how you can see how weak Zarya gets to get if we don't play perfectly within this window. No Ana means that this HP is has much more meaning. Is that these bubbles have much more meaning because once they're gone, they're kind of gone, and it's it can be quite stressful, truly quite stressful in this situation. To like have to make a play. We can definitely not kill the monkey. I want the Moira. I'm gonna go ahead and go back a little bit. I want to see if I'm chasing the Moira. We missed the Genji execution there. And by the way, you can see how I use my ammo here. So let's have a little quick look at my ammo usage within the graph. I don't right click everyone. I walk up and in. Look at the Genji. I left click and then right click to burst him and as many people as possible to try and guarantee a kill. Now, actually, I mean, if I had literally just beamed them down more correctly, then gone in, right clicked, like, yeah, I just misplayed that. If I'd walk back in and right click straight away, maybe. But the point is, yeah, interesting. I actually didn't know that. If I had just played my ammo there more correctly or had not missed those ticks on him, he would have died, which is really big because that means that now when I do this, I don't have to worry about the Genji. I go kill the Lucio probably. Why do I kill the Lucio? I honestly, I don't have sound on. Maybe I can kill Moira. She has no fade. If she probably faded out. She might have healing orb. Difficult to kill. Annoying. AD spams. Difficult to hit. Lucio, however, unfortunately this is in the way, but Lucio is in the open. Where's the Lucio going to go? That way. Where's the Moira? Here. So if the Moira wants to help the Lucio, she will have to cross into that space to help him. And then we can counter this by sort of walking through and behind the enemy. That means two things. The people have to come like this, and the people on point will have to also come into me. And then my teammates will be all behind them here. My teammates will be here. So by sort of like sucking everyone away, I create space. Plus, I get myself in the best position because based on line of sight, if I were to stand here and let the Lucio wall ride, he can go around the corner. Okay, so I'll grab the pictures real quick. He can go around the corner and break my line of sight by going around here if I play it like this. So not only do I achieve these other things by swinging out this way, I grab a second corner for myself, I create space, and no matter where this guy goes, I will have better line of sight coverage. So I can continuously damage this guy on the way there. So I hope I play like that. I don't remember, but I really hope I do something like this. Because they already capped the point. If the point was capped, I wouldn't, negate it like this. But this puts me in the best situation because he's on his way to a wall. His play here is very, obvious. If anything, what you want to do against Lucio's guys is, I don't remember, but right-click them. So when they are predictable on the wall, you can learn how to aim. So, move your crosshair over to the area, right-click them to get a guaranteed right-click. That'll be about, I don't know, let's just say a measly 1/4, 1/3 of his HP. Then we can start beaming him a little bit easily, and then depending on where he goes or what he does, it could be another free right-click combo execute. Let's look. Yeah, okay. You can see, I look at my look at my character movement, okay? Right-click the ground when he's in the open. Look how I run to the left and out to cover if he wants to go in. Maintain distance close to him. Go to 100 charge with my self bubble. I'm in the open. I actually decide to go back here. Probably because I got the kill. Yep, maybe the whole... Yeah, it's lost anyway. I think that I should have just walked in. Because we didn't have our Ana. And I maybe traded on whatever. But all good. All good. She had her fade. So we made the correct choice of going on Lucio. Because otherwise that would have happened with the same thing with the Grav earlier. So we're going to go back. Phase 1. Get charge. All right. What are our line of sights? Now, okay. I want to reiterate. Once you learn them, they're there. Right? Maybe I can do a map thing that literally tells you okay, there's this line of sight and this doorway that goes all the way from this point here to all the way back here. There's this massive corner that the enemy has that they will be taking soon. And then they will be shooting at you. On top of that, if you play in this area here, they have the high ground as well, high ground as well, high ground as well, and all these options. So you standing here soaks all of their pressure points without you having to sort of walk into the enemy team. And that's just a basic line of sight you could play into, look for. Is an enemy, is a Zen right-clicking down? For example, is a Zen right-clicking down here? Is a Genji left-clicking here? No, yes, no. Okay, so we know Monkey's up there. You can see that I'm trying to get charged. I'm actually wanting to get line of sight of this little boy over here, this little Reddit Lucio. I can't do it, and he gets comboed out. And guess what? We're down one person. Where am I going? Okay, we're down one person. So you can see ahead of time. And truly, I mean no flame. No flame to cancel a metro here. But because we're losing a person, I have the value recognition and foresight to understand that us taking a disadvantaged fight here is not going to do anything. There's no point. It's basically one fight territory. And I want my Lucio. Lucio's Zarya is broken. So I'm going to start heading back now. I'm going to start heading back towards safety. And get ready to regroup. Because there's two things. If you head back for safety as well, you can also chill in this area, which guess what? Plays directly into all these line of sights still. So we get to get charge while sort of being next to an area to disengage to with natural cover. And go back into spawn. So again, it's there's these rules that also follow together. You get the benefit of many different things by playing consistent. Now, as you can see, they didn't want to go back in time. So they get pooped out by the primal dispositioned. I instantly try to recover that, make up for that. Like, oh no, like, you know, they're stuck in the open, these line of sights that, I mean, I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm in phase 1. I'm useless. And I misread who they're going to go on, which was, you know, I just use my bubbles to save them, basically. I panic. Now, actually, it was a really good thing because they didn't go back. Truly, like, I mean this. I guarantee you, because they didn't go back, the enemy team's thinking, oh yeah, they have no Lucio, so we're at advantage. They have no grapple, so yeah, let's just go kill him. You know, sorry, just use both for bubbles. Just go kill, and it's fine. I actually agree with their play on that. Like I said, this is why our support is so good, right? We got a little bit of charge, boom, he hits the ante. We just specifically for Zarya players, keep tracking. Remember when he lands, he's on his way down. It's guaranteed. He cannot just he can't just fly back up. So what would I do in response to this? I try to weave them in, guaranteed. Right click. Burst damage. Knocks him up in the air. Makes his trajectory guaranteed again. He can 80-80. And it hits the amazing nade. We get the punish. We get the turn. So it's not as bad anymore. More enough fade. Now, Monkey went this way. I can't remember if he jumped. Has no bubble. So we're 1 for 1 now. Morage used their fade. Monkey's over here, which is going to be like really annoying for us. If he were to like jump back and use bubble or something, we'd be screwed because we'd be in the open with no bubble and no line of sight to Ana. So I have no idea what I do. Let's see what I do. Oh, I go for the Mora. Kenzo hits a nut shot on her to get her low. We finish her off. This is probably because we can literally do nothing into Monkey. Can't even walk over there in time. And the Monkey essentially by, let me pull this up. This is actually interesting. The Monkey by going to this space and committing his resources here is saying, and this is fine, I want to get this kill on Metro and I cannot do anything in this space anymore, which allows me to walk up and contest and get a pick. Simple. I tried to pick the Tracer. I hear the Genji behind me. He outplays me by breaking my line of sight, going back up. There's the Monkey, uses bubble, nothing I can do. Too low charge. I need to get charge. Phase 1. Notice, yes, there's 2 things here that I did that I haven't talked about yet. But A, one sec. I'm playing in this doorway, which is a direct line of sight to this pressure point without exposing myself to the team above me. 2, I'm bubbling myself as the Tracer is about to shoot me or shoots me. So in this situation, I really don't recommend doing that yet. The way you get to a point where you can kind of catch them with bullets is by really understanding and being safe and slow with your bubbles. Be safe, be slow, be consistent, absorb pressure, make sure that they use it on you. And then you can start to manipulate it and do crazier things like shooting widow shots. I more often than not will know, like I'll go into a widow, not bubble when she shoots. More often than not at the stage, okay? And so I do it on stream a lot. Look out for it. Now you understand, like, hey, cool. It's something that like I want to do one day too. Like that came through a lot of trial and error, a lot of timing, a lot of playing the widow. So this is actually really important. I actually think there's a lot of like okay. This is kind of the foresight. All right. We know now, Lucio, Tracer here, Monkey doesn't really matter. But these 2 people, like even Sobek would take the 1v1 with Metro. Not when he's visoring, but would take the 1v1. That's because when Soldier goes around a corner, A, he's going around out of my line of sight, and I cannot make it in time to help him. B, he's walking around a corner, which means his movement is very predictable for the enemy team, so that they can just line up their shots and basically one-clip him. It's much easier to line up your crosshair and know the timing and the movement speed in your head, and boom, he walks around a corner and he dies. So, take my word for this, we have to bubble him here. You have to bubble him here. If you don't, he might get domed, he might get clipped, whatever, because we know it's a dangerous situation. So, I tried to jump, get the E, get it. You can instantly see, hey, well played. He got the kill, but you can instantly see the amount of charge that we got there because they were ready for that. And then we made sure he doesn't die. He gets the cleanup kill. This entire time, by the way, this entire time, I am walking up, taking space, and I'm looking for the next kill. Because I don't have mobility, so I'm preparing ahead of time. I don't need to go in the Winston, I don't need to go whatever. Just let me get kills. Maybe someone else is walking out of spawn. Boom, Metro gets him. I can't get up to the Genji, which sucks. So I want my team to get the Genji. They don't clear it out. This is one of those situations where I'm like, please clear out this threat. Like when I didn't do it with the C9. Monkey jumps in, get free kill. Self bubble, walking in. Look, aggressive. But why am I so aggressive? Why am I getting away with this? They have no main heal. The Genji's above us, so he's probably not a good line of sight without walking into us. And yeah, they're kind of split apart, so to speak, right? So I'm playing, you can see, I mean, I'm playing balls to the wall, right? Do I live this? Jesus, I think I, wow. Okay, I mean, that is insane aggression. And honestly, we could VOD review this and I could have played it better, but let me just explain. This is almost like taking advantage of people walking out of spawn and not being in sync. Like, this monkey bubble sucks. If the monkey bubble wasn't there, I play at the top of that staircase, I left click or whatever, and then I sub bubble myself around the corner. I just walk away down the tunnel. You can see I walk through the bubble with my sub bubble. I get the unfortunate, yeah, if I focus monkey there, I would have got monkey, maybe lived. No joke. Okay, cool. Is what it is. Well done to my healers to try and support me, and we created that chaos, and yeah, just try to smurf on them, right? But I promise you, in lower elos, and this is like, they're not gonna be regrouping, right? You will probably, watching this, are not regrouping properly, or waiting for your team to regroup properly, or taking unnecessary risks. And this is fine. This happens with autopiloting. Everybody does this. It's out of your control. So take the little things that you can control. Don't make other people, don't get upset when other people are not doing it, etc. It's gonna happen. It always happens. But try to at least be the one that is consistent with it. And if your team dies when they're out of position, look for a little bit of charge. Look for a little bit of just something to do while downtime to get that upkeep. All right, now let's go over my spacing real quick. So we don't have a lot of charge. I think we're on our third bubble now. Mara fades out. We're playing around corner. How far away from corner am I? That's all I care about. How far away from the corner am I? If you want to like try and learn your limits and what you can replicate, these are the things you should be looking for. That corner is here to the right. I'm on this grating right now, pushing out Sombra. I have Self Bubble. I'm at corner, moving back towards corner. I probably would go around the corner to look for a Self Bubble charge, but Mora gives me opportunity. I'm moving up again. This is a pattern, isn't it, guys? Mora dead. No main heal. He goes, hey, schmork. Me go kill. And how does the enemy player react? He disengages. That's what you do from Zarya. You disengage. And Zarya needs to walk up and get that opportunity. So I entered here, by the way. I did enter here. So actually, let's go over this real quick. This play was fine. But I turned around and saw my team, how far away they were. Enemy team, great job. Hey, what the hell is this Zarya doing? She's like alone up here. I have no line of sight to my team. Oh my god. Okay, that was kind of nasty. My team tries to come help me and save me. Fuck it. We make a sick play out of it, I guess. But still, I was out of position. So the reason I walked towards the mega myself, because that's the only thing that could save me. My team came up to line of sight. Let's say I had like waited a little bit for my team to catch up. We would be in a very good situation now. But this was kind of a smurf. 180 right click. Get hacked. No way. No way. Cool. Okay. Great job by my healers and scores for sacrificing himself, which is always worth it, by the way. Keeping your Zarya in phase 2, as discussed earlier, is crucial. Sick. Absolutely crazy play, okay? By my team. And for us to like path that way, get to the mega, maintain all those line of sights, dodge people, the way we control their character, right? We credit to everyone. And but I do want to talk about, wait, what was I going to talk about? I had to drink water. I think it was the fact, oh yeah. In this situation, the Genji dies and I don't die, right? This is what when I talked about the window earlier, when I talked about here, this moment right here, and me messing up that kill, and how this entire situation could have changed without the Ana being there, or if I had like got a second right click off correctly, or right, whatever it is, and maybe got Lucio lower or whatever, could have been the difference between me living and dying. And I think it's great that, honestly, hey, we smurfed a little bit, but because we got the kill on that Genji, it allows us to not take any more damage and almost transcend the rules. Get away with something we shouldn't get away with. Right? Almost like the first fight as well, when we got the Genji, when we helped score a little bit after we lost somebody. And now, okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're up 2. I'm feeling myself. Okay. I don't have bubbles. My bubbles are coming up. I don't care. I'm like, there ain't no way. If I can get away with this, you know what I mean? Then, hey, the enemy team, punish me. Punish me. If I can get away with this, punish me. It's kind of that mindset. So I'm like really like, how much can I get away with? What can I do? Okay. And I walk through the enemy team spot. Oh, it's just this. It's just, that's what I mean. Like, this is that snowball phase 2 deal damage. I'm teabagging the spawn door, saying hello. Hey, shoot me. Shoot me. How long can I live? Like, literally. There's nothing. Okay. We're getting off topic. We went over a lot of good things, but to get to that point of BM, to get to that point of like, yeah, playing good, you get there. I think I ended up throwing the game. So we can go over that. I actually ended up throwing the game. So don't worry for those of you that were seething and coping at the goal of this guy. So one thing, Moira's on cart. Anna's healing me. She's like, I have to go help Metro though. Dude, I've got hardstyle, like just hardstyle music in my head. I don't give a shit. Hey, fuck the cart. Right now, all I care about is this domination and just snowballing the enemy team and seeing what I can get away with. It's very selfish. But then here, we kill the Moira. Step Stacy kills the Moira, sorry. Insane support player, I'm telling you. Sleeps the Doom. Now, which bozo woke up the Doom? That was about to run out. So, and then Step Stacy dies. I tried to save them. Yeah, so I end up throwing the game. But, simple thing to fix. I was just feeling myself. Hey, this was a lot of fun. We went over a lot of good things. If you enjoyed the video, let me know. Maybe I'll make an outro. We went over a lot of good fundamentals. Really the rules of Zarya, at least specifically into Zarya. It's a Zarya matchup. And yeah, I might make this thing a bit more common. I know this is really nobody's cup of tea. If you're here, amazing. I actually don't know how this is going to be received. Are people going to sit here and listen to 2 hours of me talking about Overwatch gameplay and how to play the game? Maybe. Maybe not. Don't know. Much love. Thank you, everybody.